The girl I was exclusive with kissed my brother and now she's coming for dinner. So me, 18M, and this girl, we will call her X, 18F. We're talking for a while and things were going nicely. One night I decided to voice my feelings, which I was scared to do, and she responded the exact same way I did. Those feelings were that we liked being with each other and really wanted to see where we could go with this relationship. The next night, she went out clubbing and I didn't want to be that guy that says, "Don't do this, don't do that," or be overprotective. So I said, "Okay, be safe, have fun," sorta thing. I didn't go out because I was working. Some of my friends went out however. The next day I was showing my brother, 20M, some memes on my phone. Something we like to do probably once a week for a laugh. Get a call from one of my friends while I'm showing him memes and I pick up and say, "Hey, what's up?" and he says, "We need to talk." I tell my brother I'll be back and go to a different room. My friend then tells me, "You have to talk to X, call her now," and I said, "No, you tell me." This went on for several minutes until I said, "I would rather hear it from you." He then told me that he had heard through a mutual friend that X hooked up with my brother. I was lost for words. I was so hurt that she could do that after what she said to me. She said a lot more emotional stuff earlier about how she really likes me, etc. For some context, me and her kept it on the down low. My close friends knew and so did hers. That's all. So my brother supposedly didn't know, however she did. She knew it was my brother. My brother then walked in the room after receiving a text from my other friend telling him how I was in a thing with her and that we said we were exclusive. He apologized and said he had no idea. I said, "If you genuinely didn't know we were a thing then I'm not mad at you, I'm just upset with her." He continued by saying he had no idea. I then texted X, saying how was your night, and she responded saying, "Yeah, good fun." I said, "Get up to any trouble, haha." She said, "Nah." Then I said, "What about my brother?" She then went on a sad rant about how she's really sorry, etc. etc. And I responded saying how if I never found out, you would have never told me, and she didn't know how to react. I said I was upset with her and I think I don't want to continue anything. Apparently she has done this to other guys, so no second chances from me. Fast forward a week later and I'm woken up by a loud car, which I think is someone random person, but I later found out was someone picking up X from my house at 5 a.m. I found this out because the person picking X up told one of my friends what she was doing. This happened because my friend asked why she was driving at 5 a.m. because he was curious. It's not a regular occurrence. My friend put the dots together and texted me. I went to brother's room later that day and woke him up. I said, "Whose was that loud car? Was that one of your friends?" He said, "I'm not sure. Maybe." I waited about 10 seconds to see if he would follow it up with anything and he didn't, so I said, "It wasn't someone picking up X, was it?" Then there was silence for probably 20 seconds before he said, "How do you know? Who told you, etc. etc." I didn't answer that, but I told him to his face, "After what she did to me, I am not comfortable with you being with her. I don't want her near our house because I don't like her, at all." He said responded by just saying again, "How did you know?" I said, "I don't want her here," and walked out. Fast forward 1-2 months probably. I know that they are catching up and regularly, and that makes me annoyed because of what she did to me. But the thing that makes it worse is that my own brother knows what she did, and he doesn't care. My mum says to me this morning, "Make sure you're free for dinner tomorrow, we have a visitor." I stare at brother who instantly looks away from me. "Who's the visitor?" I ask my mum. "X," she replies. I'm upset and angry. I don't want her around me. I have been cheated on in the past with a more serious relationship. But this one just made all the feelings come back, and with my own brother. I don't know what to do. I don't want her near me. I want my parents to know why I don't like her. How can I do this? I'm too scared to straight up tell them the story. Edit. Some people think my friends went out with those two. That's not the case, they just saw them at the same club, kinda small town, only several clubs. Tell your mother you won't be attending the dinner, because you dated X and she cheated on you with your brother. Then leave it. There's nothing you can really do, other than tell your brother you now know where you stand, that he values this girl more than his own brother's feelings and you'll treat him accordingly. Focus on yourself. Your brother is older than you and your brother knows exactly what he is doing. Your brother knows exactly how he is hurting you. Put your foot down, tell your mom the details, and then leave it on your mom and brother to decide. If they both go against your wishes, you will know your worth in your brother's and mom's life. Geez, this sounds like it can be a movie with X and your brother being the antagonists, but then you find a nice girl that you fall in love with randomly. Then, X gets jealous of the cute new girl you met and is angry that you're happy and stops paying attention to your brother and tries to get back with you, but you stay with the new girl. Then your brother gets mad and dumps X. Then it's just you, new girl, and your bro at family gatherings. Both your brother and X are assholes. Sorry man. Of course don't go to that dinner and explain the reason to your mother. It's understandable 100% that you wouldn't feel comfortable, and your mental health is more important than this shit. Tell everyone on the dinner table that she was your girlfriend before and she cheated on you with your brother. Then say you thought you could be having dinner together but in reality you can, you are disgusted. Then leave for a walk. They will at least have some headache with your parents. Don't be scared, walk into that dinner like you own the place, make them both feel as uncomfortable as you can. I would take it a step further and ask your brother to pass you something and say, "Hey, can you not put your dick in it like you did my girl?" Then look at her and go back to eating your dinner. I would tell your mom what happened, that she cheated with your brother. I would tell her that she knew he was your brother, and if she wants her over for dinner then fine, but you won't be there and your relationship will be damaged because your relationship with your brother already is. I'm a spiteful son of a bitch, so I'd tell your mother everything, the cheating, the fake apology, her spending the night at your house. And then absolutely terrorize him. Drop X-Lax in his drinks if you know he's going out, stink bombs in his room, you can get some nasty itching powder online. At the very least you have to tell your parents, your brother is a next-level piece of shit and no one wants a cheater at the dinner table. My girlfriend, F18, freaked out because of something I, M18, said to her when we were hugging. Me and my girlfriend have been together 18 months, she's my first girlfriend and we are each other's first sexually, and I want to marry her when I can afford to start a family and she feels the same. I am very lucky to have found her because she is the most amazing girlfriend I could wish for. Quite often she will sleep round the house I rent, super cheap where I live. And we will sleep in the same bed after or during sex. We only started having sex a few weeks ago. Last night we were cuddling and I told her that it feels really nice cuddling her. She asked why and I said it makes me feel like a baby. Cringy, I know. But I was swimming with happy hormones and in quite a vulnerable place emotionally that I've never really gone to before. Her reaction shocked me because she instantly pulled away and was grossed out. I explained that when she holds me it makes me feel safe and loved in a way that no one ever has since I was a little kid. I am a giant, gym rat and was pretty isolated as a teenager, but it just kept digging a hole. She started almost yelling that I wanted a mom rather than a girlfriend, which is hurtful because my relationship with my mom is almost non-existent. It's also not true because I love her like my girlfriend, not like my mom, but I just couldn't get my words out. When I asked if she felt the same way when I cuddle her she said yes, she feels protected and safe, but it's different because she's a girl, which I sort of get because I am much bigger and tougher than her. She then went home and here I am, she's not responding to my texts, and there's no way I am asking any of my friends for help with how embracing the situation is. I don't know what to do because I wasn't lying with what I said, but I feel really dirty and disgusted with myself for being so weak and cringy. Like I want to punch myself in the face. But I am also feeling anxious and shaky because I went from being chilled out to being yelled at in 30 seconds. I think I just need to shut up. How do I fix this? Is there any way to salvage this and convince her I am not some pervert or freak? And #X200B. Update. Just finished talking to her. She dumped me. She texted me to say she doesn't want to be with me anymore. I came over and she basically laid into me and told me she lost all respect for me when I went soft in front of her. I was almost crying and she used that as a reason as well, saying if I cry when I get broke up with I am not grown up enough to be with her. I tried to explain I was just saying her cuddling me made me feel safe, but she got all grossed out and said she didn't want to hear it. She said as well that I am not a man in the bedroom either, which is her saying about when she asked me to choke her during sex and I didn't want to. I wouldn't mind her choking me, but I just am not into hugging people I love at all. She also sort of pressured me into our first time. Now I think about it, probably a lot of warning signs I ignored because I am a man and she's a girl. Significant other, yeah. I thought she loved me for me but obviously not. Because I am not just a gym rat who fights and lifts, I am a person with feelings. When I tried to say all this she shut me down and told me to f**k off basically. All the girls who are ever into me turn of horrible. The nice girls I used to crush in school always thought I was too rough or whatever, but the truth is I don't want to be some Christian Grey type boyfriend. I just want to love and be loved by someone. And #X200B. Thank you for the replies. I just replied, updated, to all of them as I read them all before talking to her, and it did give me the impression I wasn't in the wrong, so thank you. Still sucks and still confused though. How in YTF is cuddle time only allowed to make her feel safe and comfortable, because she's a girl? That's a serious problem right there. Dude, 1000% what you said was not cringy. You felt like a baby, not like an actual baby. But you felt warm and loved and protected like a baby would. Sorry man, your lady is immature as fuck if she cannot understand that, maybe even a little sexist? That's the vibe I get. You're a man, you're not allowed to feel like a baby. Honestly man, I'd definitely consider breaking up, at least talk and discuss this first. I love cuddling with my woman, I definitely feel like a baby when she holds me and we call that to each other. I promise you there are women out there who wouldn't care or get mad at you saying that. Good luck homie. She sounds like she lacks emotional maturity. You're both 18 kids. Any adult can understand the context of feeling safe in your partner's arms. It may have came out odd, but she way overreacted. I think she owes you an apology. Bro, you weren't weak or cringy. If you don't feel warm and safe and loved when you're hugging your bird, then something would be weird. She just sounds extremely immature and low-key sexist. She can feel warm and safe but you can't? Fucking LMAO. Edit. As to salvaging it, don't beg or try to over-explain. You were in the right. If she ends it there over something so ridiculous, then you're honestly better off. FR dude. This says so much more about her than it does you. Doesn't sound weird or cringy at all. Her reaction sounds really overblown. It sounds like this has been a concern of hers for a while, and the first thing she could attach that fear to she did. Also, I can't even begin to unpack the idea that she shouldn't make you feel safe because she's smaller or female. There's so much internalized sexism there that it's comical to me. Has she never seen Brooklyn 99? Little spoon all the way. If she's gonna let this be a problem, you should head out now. 'Cause if she's reacting like this to something trivial, imagine what she'll do when a real problem arises. She sounds toxic. Only a strong man can be truly gentle. Cowards and bullies never let their guard down because they are afraid. You should feel safe with your partner and be able to let your guard down in front of her and allow yourself be vulnerable. You should also be able to confide in her if you are scared or feeling weak and know you are still valued and respected and loved. That does not mean you are not a safe and strong partner for her. You can sometimes be the little spoon and want the comfort of childhood whatever your sex. Being too afraid to be vulnerable is a sign of weakness. She is so wrong. You didn't say it in the best way, but your point is totally valid. Cuddling is supposed to feel warm and safe and fuzzy. Your girlfriend might not be ready to provide some of the safety or intimacy you referred to. The thought of needing to be a protector or a safe haven for someone else might not be a role she has ever thought of taking on. Unfortunately, your metaphor of feeling like a baby gave her a pretty easy out for this way of thinking. However, if you are also taking the role of being protective, caretaking and comforting to her, and enjoy it, it's pretty safe to say you aren't treating her like your mom. And she knows it. Psychologically, I think we do seek comfort from our partner the way we used to seek comfort from our parents when we were young. So what you are feeling is absolutely normal. She had taken it the wrong way, unfortunately. I can see that she is important to you. Maybe what you can do is just text her that it was just a misunderstanding. You didn't mean it the way she thinks. At the same time, I want you to know that as a man, you too deserve to be comforted, cuddled and made feel safe by your partner. Adults men get babied all the time and it's normal, and they deserve it as much as women because it feels nice to be babied. Good luck. I'm uncomfortable with helping impregnate my 34M sister, 34F, and need advice. This is a little complicated, but I'll try to explain as best as possible. My 34M twin sister, 34F, Lila, has been in a wonderful relationship with her wife, 36F, Effie, for about 8 years. Shortly after they got married, they both very much wanted to start a family. After discussing their options, they came to a decision that a great way for them to conceive a child that's biologically both of theirs would be through IVF, using my sperm and Effie's egg, with Effie carrying the baby. I was completely okay with that and more than happy to help them out. My own wife and I don't have or want kids personally, so there wasn't any subsidiary family drama to consider there, and with Lila being my twin, it just made sense. They literally could not get any closer to a traditional pregnancy as a couple. It was a success, and Lila and Effie now have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter, who, unsurprisingly, looks exactly like Lila. Everyone is thrilled about her. A few months ago they decided they were ready to expand their family. They'd wanted 2 kids from the beginning, and they'd like the siblings to be fully biological, so Lila contacted me about donating sperm again, and of course I agreed. That is, until I found out that Effie can no longer safely carry a baby to term. Apparently they've known about this since encountering complications during the first pregnancy. So, instead, my sister would be the one carrying the baby. A baby that's technically mine. I immediately told her no. I'm not comfortable with that. I understand that her DNA would not be mixing with mine in any way, but something about it still seems really off to me. I do not want to sit across from my pregnant sister at Christmas dinner knowing that I put the baby inside of her. I don't want awkward situations like their kid exclaiming, "My mommy gave birth to me and my daddy is her brother." Lila is extremely upset, saying that I'm being selfish and closed-minded and juvenile. Told me that I'm ruining what would be their perfect family and robbing their daughter of a full-blood sibling. There's absolutely no way they can afford the compensation fees and other costs of a gestational carrier. Plus they're now attached to the idea of them each having carried one sibling. So the only other option would be using a different sperm donor. In a way, I can absolutely see her side of things. I realize that I sort of am being juvenile. The only thing standing in the way of their dream is that I just can't shake the iwi incest vibes, even though I'm fully aware that in reality, there's nothing incestuous about it. Is it a selfish move that I can't just put my feelings aside and let them complete their family? For me it's simply an uncomfortable thought, but for them it's a decision that affects their whole family and future. Just need some advice, I guess. Too long did not read. My sister and her wife have previously conceived a child using my sperm and her wife's egg, with her wife carrying. They want to do it again but with my sister carrying, and I'm not comfortable with that. Your sperm, your decision. If you're uncomfortable with it, then don't. NGL, they sound selfish. I can see their POV in wanting to continue their family etc., but I'll be honest with you. I totally get why you're uncomfortable. It is a different scenario to Effie carrying the child. I get that it's not incest, or anything gross like that, but I would also find it weird if my brother's sperm was used to put a child in me. Gross, 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 gross. I hate that I even typed that. Ultimately, it is your sperm and your decision, and it's not the end of the world if they have to use a different sperm donor. It's not like the child will be any less theirs. It's your body, mate. What anyone else would do in your place is, in this case, irrelevant. The only advice I can give you is that, if you want to get over the lack of comfort, if you want to donate the sperm, then maybe seek some professional counseling to help you get over the incest vibes. Otherwise, your body, your choice, and your sister will have to accept and respect this. I was just wondering, does your sister's wife not have any viable male family members that could be donors? Maybe this is not what they fully want, but maybe an option. Your sister cannot take no as an answer, but reproductive abuse is still an abuse. She is manipulative and doesn't take into account your feelings at all. Family starts with 2. If she thinks family starts with kids, what are you then together with your wife? Not a family? Adoption is another great solution. You don't take away their big family dream by saying no, in this case. But their ignorance and closed mind does. It's not their way or a highway. So it sounds like the first baby was with your sperm with Effie's egg? Can the next one be Lila's egg and a donor sperm? That way each of the mothers has 50% biological input to one kid. Look, this is your decision entirely. Your body, your choice. You're absolutely not robbing them of anything. A full-blooded sibling may seem important to them, but it's really not even slightly important in the grand scheme of things. Just explain to them that your decision has been made and that you're not going to discuss it further. You do not need to justify or explain yourself, so they should consider it a bonus that you have. Part of what makes medical care in a free country so good is that the individual decides what they want. All treatment requires consent. If you do not want to give consent for any reason, whether silly or not, you do not have to. I would also go so far as to say your sister is being selfish for wanting a child that is exclusively her own blood. Told, 18F, girlfriend that I'm not comfortable with her messaging guy, 30M. So basically she works with this 30-something-year-old guy and he jokes around with her a lot in a flirty manner since she started working there, although she denies the fact that it is a flirt and claims it is all jokes. For example, one time she asked for him to make her something to eat in her lunch. They work at a restaurant, and he said, "Do you still have a BF?" She says, "Yes," and he says, "Then no." He also says plenty of other flirty jokes like, "The only thing I like is when you wear glasses. When you don't I like nothing." He has also made jokes about taking her on a date. She claims it's all to bother her brother who also works there. But he does this quite frequently and has probably said worse things to her brother. Her brother has said that he has talked about how she looks good in glasses and that all the guys at her work hit on her. So basically she follows him on IG and she saw that he posted some beaver tail on his story, so she decided to reply to it saying, "You really made that after I left work?" And he responds with, "Lose the boyfriend and I'll make you better meals." So basically I told her I'm not comfortable that she goes out of her way to engage with this guy, especially because he does this all the time, and said I'm not comfortable with her DMing him or engaging with him when she doesn't need to because it's disrespectful to me. But I made it clear that I understand at work she can't do anything about him talking to her, so it's fine if she just brushes it off and that she does not have to fully ignore him since that might make things awkward. She claims because they're just short convos because they're only a message or two back and forth, usually including him making some sort of joke, and on the rare occasion just she DM him or does he DM her, that it's not fair to her, but I still believe it's disrespectful. Is this wrong of me? Dude is 100% trying to screw her. Like, you could bet any amount of money on it. You need to get single. And maybe do some self-work. I'm not sure if you seek advice or attention, but seems this girl has you quite twisted. Today. Told, 18F, girlfriend that I'm not comfortable with her messaging guy, 30M, 4 days ago. My girlfriend, 18F, wants to might hang out with guy she just met over Snapchat, should I be worried? 7 days ago. I need confirmation that it's okay to be asking my girlfriend, 18F, to not be Snapchatting guys that show immediate interest. Lose the boyfriend and I'll make you better meals. How the fuck can this be taken as a joke? She is not setting boundaries around her relationship. That guy is clearly trying to sleep with your girlfriend. She is going to do it eventually because she is interested in him as well, or she would shut that shit down. Be prepared to break up. Come on man. Have some self-respect. Don't let these fools toss you about. Looks like his plan is working perfectly. Be just enough on the good side with her so he's endearing, enough to make you mad so you be the bad guy. Keep it up because he has nothing to lose. You get mad enough, she defends him, you have enough and break up with her. He invites her over to cook for her and comfort her and bangs then hell out of her. You are almost in no-win territory. Don't get mad, be strong, but that's tough. Dude. Saw your post history, your girlfriend has no respect for you or the relation. She might never cheat on you, but part of a relation is giving your significant other the security of remaining loyal and faithful.